Mixing trance bass lines can be a real pain, but it doesn't have to be. I'm getting so many requests from you guys asking me about how to mix mid basses properly. And I have to tell you, I had this problem for many years, then I figured it out. So I thought I will make a tutorial so you guys know how it's done and how I do it. So let's have a look at it. It's pretty easy. It's all about the EQ and the sidechain and your taste. So let's have a look at that right now. But before we start, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you won't miss any future tutorials. So let's have a look at this. So I place some bass lines in there. You have the mid bass, other mid basses and the sub bass. And right now it actually sounds pretty awful. So as you can hear, it's really boomy, so we need to fix this. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna group kick and the sub bass. That's how I usually do things. And I'm gonna place an LFO tool on top of that. It's a great plugin that will show you waveform of what's happening. Set the volume to 0 here. And now let's have a look at our kick and bass. We're looking for the level of the volume of both samples. You have to click this to see the waveform. As you can see, they're pretty leveled, but the sub bass is a bit too loud. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reduce this by 3 dB. Alright, next thing. I'm gonna put another LFO tool on the sub bass. It's actually coming from Zebra. Let's check the waveform here. And you see there is a little bit of the sub bass coming out the other end where the kick is hitting. And we don't want that, so we use this LFO tool to cut it out. Now it's silent, so now nothing is interfering with our kick. Now they are separated, which is pretty cool. Next thing I'm gonna do when mixing bass lines, I'm gonna put EQ there. I really like using FabFilter Pro Q3, really great plugin. And let's have a look at this bass. Actually not bad. Anyway, we're gonna cut these lows just a little. And we're gonna do the same with the kick. Let's have a look at the kick. And this is the information you actually don't want in there. You can't hear it, but that's the thing that makes your car door shake. Okay, so let's have a look at this bass, because it's a bit resonating one. It's nice, but we want to get rid of some of that resonance and have that sweetness of the bass. So let's have a look at it. So you see over here, this is our bass on F. This is the second octave of the bass. And then we have a resonant point, I would say it's somewhere here in C. So let's try reusing this a little and let's have a listen what's gonna happen. Less resonance, nice warmth, I like this one. I would say reducing this peaky here as well, because it's pretty heavy and we want them to be a little bit more equal. That's nice. And now I'm gonna reuse it just in the middle. And you can then hear the before and after. Bass is nice and warm. Let's have a look at the volume, because it reduced a little, because we got rid of some of the resonance. So now the bass is a little bit too quiet, so I just give it 1 more dB. Alright, so that was sub bass and the kick. And now let's have a look at the mid basses. Right now, if I turn them on, it will all be still very boomy. And you can hear they're really killing the kick. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one. Turn off these two and let's play this. First thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna check the low end. So everything below F2, that's our kick and sub bass, and we want to give room to all this. So I'm gonna make a low cut here in the beginning, let's say around 150. And let's have a listen now. I would say we need a little bit more, so let's make that curve on 24 dB per octave. And now I can hear the sub and kick playing clearly, but I would say that the bass is just a bit too loud. So let's give it like -14. And of course, we're gonna put our favorite LFO tool on top of it. We don't need it this steep. Just go like in the middle. Make sure this point is right in the middle, so the pace of mid basses are to the grid. And listening to this mid, I think it could use a bit more mids. Let's have a listen. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's have a look at this third one. And you notice I'm not turning off the other sounds because I would like to mix them correctly. So I'm always trying to have all the other sounds on so I can hear what's happening when they play together. If you don't do that, you might create a really beautiful mid bass and it will not fit to your track. Okay, so let's add this other one there. Straight away I can hear it's very boomy and it's very loud. So first thing, I'm gonna reduce it by another 6 dB and we'll get rid of all this low end. And it's still a bit too loud, so let's give it another 5 dB down. And now I'm gonna solo it because I'm looking for this one particular frequency that is pissing me off. And it's just this noise. I'm gonna get rid of that noise, but I'm going to use a dynamic EQ because that will be much better. It's a new feature on FAB filter, it's pretty awesome. So when you know changes, this will adjust to that. It's just that hiss I'm going to remove. How about give it more stereo so we get some wideness in there. So basically I'll just take utility plugin, place it on there. And of course we turn the bass mono. And a little bit more volume. Okay, that's starting to sound pretty nice. Oh, by the way, I forgot to add the same LFO tool here on the mid. So let's have a look at the third bass. Alright, here we go. First thing we put the FAB filter. And we get rid of that bass. That's for sure has to go. I just want the mid. Let's raise this mid a little bit more. Have a listen in context. And a bit more highs. It's a nice bass, but it could tick a little bit more, you know. You can use compression or you can use a transient shaper. There is a really good one in Neutron, so let's put it on. It's an isotope, Neutron 3. Oh, sorry. I actually purchased this on Splice on monthly installments, which I suggest you to do. It's pretty cool. You pay like 15 euros a month and you get a plugin. So the Splice has to be on if you want to use it. And since I forgot to turn my camera, now you can finally see me. Alright, so let's continue. Now here we go, works. Alright, so just take the transient shaper here. That's all we need to do. I'm gonna adjust it here. Use precise mode. I like that one the most. And let's have a listen. And now let's add a little bit more attack. And shorten the sustain so it's more ticky. I like it. I'm gonna shorten these notes a little as well. Okay, let's take the LFO tool there. Let's have a listen. Now with everything playing. Now we have this high bass, which is basically just a simple Psy bass line. But we're gonna have a play with this. First, let's put an EQ there. I'm gonna use our favorite FOB filter. We just want this click of this bass to be there. And we're gonna raise this a lot. And it's a bit low, so let's just raise it up. I think we need a steeper curve here, like very, very steep. Because this bass will not do much, but it will create that clickiness and give more drive to the whole rhythm. And it's a bit too loud there, so if we use it here, so we're going clipping. Yeah, I like it now. It's already stereo, but let's give it a little bit more. So audio effects, utility. Let's go. Alright, so let's have a listen with just sub and this high bass. I'm gonna cut everything here. Right there. The LFO tool. And we're gonna go for a really heavy one. Now let's have a listen to all the bass lines. Now let's group them and adjust the volume accordingly so it sounds great with the kick and sub. Now if you want to give it more pump, we'll take this first mid bass and I'll just reduce the LFO to here so it gets more like I can see here that the mid basses are a bit too loud still, so I'm going to reduce them a little bit more. This makes more sense. And this one is a bit bassy. I'll cut it a little bit more. I'm gonna leave some of that low mid subbiness in here. I just like it how it fills the space there. But I guess it have more click. Okay, so let's have a listen. And if you add some percussions and effects and other sounds, this is what you get. And that's all, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell button so you won't miss any future episodes of these tutorials. And if you have any more questions and if you would like to see something special in these tutorials, please let me know in the comments below. This was how to make trance with me. I hope you had fun and I can't wait to see you for the next one. Thank you very much and see you soon. Ciao.